You are live.
I think we're live. Hello, everybody. I hope all is well. Welcome also to Inge, our community manager, and welcome to Michiel and Steven and Mike and Steph and Margot, who are already in the chat room. And also welcome to you if you're watching this afterwards, because we've been posting these in a playlist, which is also hidden. But if you go to Patreon, if you watch this, you probably have already found the link to the playlist. I have to apologize before we start because I'm still working in the background on rendering my work for the broadcasting company. Every week I make a short audio column, like a little video. But I wasn't able to do it earlier this week, so now I'm like in the final stretch of putting something together real quick. So I'll have to basically do two things at a time because the person who has to post it will probably leave in about an hour. And he's very strict with his time. It's Tom, who I'm talking about. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're on payroll, yeah. If it's 7 o'clock,
sure,
and if it's
sure.
5 o'clock, and you won't get paid after 5 o'clock. You don't work after 5 o'clock.
Yeah. So anyway, it's good to see you all. It's the beginning of a new week, so it's no April Fool's Day for us. I'm not making any jokes anymore. I've done once, and I will never do April Fool's jokes anymore. But we have lots of things to talk about, and also we would like to have your questions and hear what's going on in your part of the world. So let us know. But I'm going to hand it over to Inge. She's going to, I'm going to send that video off to the producer. And then I'll be joining you in a second.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
that
a
okay?
professional community manager, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just a great push me on the spot without prior notice, huh? So,
I know. You're a
yeah,
professional. You
I'm a
can do
professional.
it.
So first of all, hi, and how's everybody doing? Because I see people are waking up in Michigan, Southern California, New York, Tacoma Park, MD. What is that? Margot? I don't know all the state abbreviations. So
MD, isn't that like a physician or?
no, it's from Tacoma Park, MD, and I'm like, okay, Maryland. Oh, Maryland. Okay, that's one of the tiny small
Is
states
that a
that you have to.
state?
Yeah,
Like a
Maryland is a state, and you need to have you need a magnifying glass on the map of the USA to find it.
like the
So
Netherlands.
yes, but smaller. Yeah, Maryland is what I've been told from someone who from my international parish who was from Maryland. It's a Catholic state, so the name Maryland is referring to the Catholic origins of the state.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, Sina says that it's not as small as Rhode Island. So it can be smaller. Yeah. Oh, four people say Maryland. Yeah. 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 So yeah. How is your weather like? Because we have tombola weather. How do you say that? A roller coaster weather. So last weekend I did a 10-kilometer walk, because it was 19 centigrade. And when I'm looking outside right now, there's snow on the ground. It's like 3 centigrade. So you have to do the math how much that is in Fahrenheit because I don't know. It's so a little bit above freezing today, and a few days ago it was around, what is it, 68, 66 Fahrenheit, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so that's March for in northwestern Europe. So the one day it's spring, the next day is winter, the next day is autumn. So yeah. Margot says she's just a short walk from Washington D.C. Washington D.C. I know that's I'm not that bad. Late night breaks is joining us from Houston, Texas. and nice weather. I assume it's always nice weather in Texas. At least it's kind of warm. I'm always jealous of people living in Texas and Florida, Louisiana, that kind of the Gulf Coast, because it's always warm, and I like warm. I don't like cold. So I'm living in the wrong part of the world.
And they eat tacos for breakfast.
Yes, tacos for breakfast. Yeah. So there's a roller coaster weather also in Boston, where Zina lives. Yeah, and it's freezing in Michigan as well, where Mike lives. Yeah. So yeah, what I also have been doing this week is yeah, trying to catch up on the quarter. So it's gonna I'm doing the boring work at Tridio. So in order to make sure that Father can do the fun stuff, doing his podcast, doing his videos and everything, I need to take care of everything else, including number crunching. So we have to file taxes.
You sound like Dobby the house elf now.
You were working. I was doing the show. Remember, you're interfering.
I will hand you a pair of socks.
I have nice socks. Let me tell you.
Oh my god.
Here, a little hearts on it. So yeah, we have this natural gas situation in Europe. So I won't talk politics, of course, but yeah, we are kind of scared because some countries in Europe are relying on Russian natural gas for their heating and for their factories and for everything. And now there's a threat that the pipeline will be cut, that the gas supply will be cut. So we have been asked to lower the thermostats to everybody to do what you can reasonably to reduce the energy consumption. So that's why I have 3 pairs of socks, and the socks I just showed are my house socks. So you don't have to give me socks. I already have socks. That's and also I'm wearing 2 sweaters, and I've got a little blanket because I have turned down the thermostat 2 degrees. So it's 17 centigrade in the house, and I'm sitting next to the heating, so it's reasonably warm next to the heating. So that's the story behind the socks. Yeah. So as Steph says, you cannot never have too many socks. So yeah. But it's the timing of that we have to turn down the heating is a little bit unfortunate because it was gorgeous weather. I didn't have to turn on the heating, and now it's like 3 degrees centigrade, and I have to turn up the heating, but I cannot turn up the heating to like 68 or something like that because I have to save energy. Yeah. So.
I also got new socks.
Okay, I want to see your socks now because I did the yoga move. I'm always sitting on my desk chair in a half lotus position, so it's not hard for me to show my socks.
Well, I've got them here on my desk, and I went wild.
You have to put them on.
I have them on, but they're all the same. But normally, of course, everything is black, right? But I went wild, and I got some color this time. Look.
Gray.
No, these have different colors for each day. But the thing is, they are only on the parts that are not visible. So it's the heel and it's the toe that are colored. So now, and I did this on purpose because I have many different types of black socks. So when I have to sort my laundry, I'm constantly like, oh no, this one is longer than the other one. No, this one is the one with the hole. So I have to wear that on my right foot because the hole is on the left side. And then it takes me forever. And I thought, well, this is so handy because now I can just look at the colors and make pairs easily, and I won't confuse them with the rest of my socks. So that was my only success last week when I went to the store to get new clothes. The rest was a failure. So I bought this like pair of trousers. Like I have a problem with pajamas.
Black.
I don't know why.
Oh,
No, I mean I
too
have.
much information, Father. I don't want to know about your pajamas.
So I've got a lot of these upper parts, but I only have two two pairs of pajama trousers. So I don't know where they all went. They're all gone.
I have a
And
theory about that, but go on.
I have no idea. But anyway, so I wanted to get myself a I don't need the upper part because I've got like at least 10. But I just need more trousers. So I bought this single pair of trousers, which was great because that was the first time I ever saw pajama pants with a pocket, which is so useful.
What do you need a pocket for? It's a pajama.
All the time. I walk around here in the house and I was like, where are my glasses? And then, where are my glasses? I got to go upstairs. And then, where is it? Where is it? Oh, here they are. And then I run down the stairs. And time for Netflix. Oh, these are the wrong. These are my reading glasses. Where are the other? So I need at least one pocket for my glasses. And then the other part is, where's my phone? I hear the phone, and I was like, where's the? Did I leave it in? Where did I put it? So I wanted to have the other pocket for my phone. So that's why I was so happy. But then I came home. Well, this was like I vowed not to use my bike during Lent. So not to use my car. So I went to the store by bike, which takes about an hour and 15 minutes. And so I came home and I had also bought other stuff. But you can't try that on in the store.
You can.
But it's not certain types of clothing. Socks. The parts that are under your normal clothing, right?
Yeah, but yes. But my grandma taught me a rule to make sure that your socks always fit. You make a fist like this. They you take the toe of your sock, you wrap it around your hand, and then the heel of the sock needs to touch the toe of your sock, and then you know that it fits.
Okay, sure. No, I mean the socks are okay, but then I came home and I noticed that all the other stuff that I bought was too large. So I don't know what happened in the Netherlands between the last time I bought clothes and last week, but I compared it and literally it said M, like medium. Because I'm small, but I'm not that small. At least that's what I thought. But then it turns out that the medium from when was the last time I bought clothes? 5 years ago. The medium from 5 years ago is small today. So now I have to go back.
Same for women's clothes.
But why?
Because people are not getting smaller. They are getting.
Is that thing? I have to go back to the other computer again. Oh my gosh! But what a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, as Michiel says today on the community hour, the community compares socks. There you go. Yeah. And Steph has compression socks that have R and L and still put them on the wrong feet. I've got walking socks that have those Falke walking socks, and I managed to put them the wrong socks on the wrong feet as well.
Oh wow!
So yeah. Yeah. Let me see. And I get corrected on the pockets. It always needs pockets. So and as about my theory about the missing pajamas bottoms.
Yeah.
There's if you have a dryer or a washing machine on a high spinning cycle, if it spins on too many cycles, so too high, the numbers, the how do you say that, the revolutions. Then it creates a black hole inside the washing machine and stuff that starts to disappear. That's the only reason why I have. So I'm missing socks for some reason.
Right.
So, yeah. So rotations per minute, as Margot says. So I'm missing socks and other small stuff. And now you check the I've got a front washing machine. So you open it and you check the rubber in the front. And I also check the filter. It's not there, but I put them in there and they are not there anymore. So the only the reasonable and rational explanation for that. It has to spin so fast that it creates a very localized black hole where the socks disappear in,
That must be it.
or a portal to another dimension. That's also another possibility.
Oh my gosh! So now another version of me is walking around in pants that are too small.
That I think, yeah. Well, it makes sense though.
Totally.
Yeah, yeah. So, and the reason why the pants are getting bigger is that everybody gained weight after because of COVID now. So, but you don't want to make people feel guilty that their size doesn't fit anymore. So you make the size bigger. So everybody can just still wear the same size despite getting bigger. Yeah,
So it's a
yeah,
guilt.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so Steph has wormholes in the dryer. See, I'm not the only person who has that problem. And Pat and Ron got a sock bag with uh, to avoid missing socks. But I don't have a sock bag. I've got something else though. I've got a special bag for polyester clothes. So there's this problem of micro particle pollution. So little plastic parts end up in the sewage, and then because they are so tiny, they don't get filtered out, and they get into the ocean, and then the little plastic parts get eaten by fish, and the fish end up on our plate, and then we eat the fish. And then there's last week, was it last week? There was a study that proved that that showed that humans have a tiny plastical particle in their blood. So that's why I try to have a special bag. It's called a guppy fish bag. So, and it's you put in all the polyester clothing, you zip it. It's got a ziplock, so you zip it closed, and then you wash your clothes like normally, and then you get it out of the bag, and there's all the little particles that are in the seams, so you can go to the bin and just take it inside out and throw away all the plastic particles that have come off your clothes in order to avoid the little particles ending up in the ocean. So, yeah, the guppy friend is the name of the bag, I think. Yeah, yeah. And Erica had the opposite problem the last time she went shopping. The store had really small sizes, and I was both distressed and confused. All my clothes still fit, so I'm pretty sure it was the store. Yeah. And Margot has a theory that there are no new socks ever manufactured. They just go to the socks netherworld and get repackaged. That's also a good theory. But and Michael wants to know, Father, what happens when you have a black hole in your black sock?
My toes disappear. I used to have 14 toes per foot, but lately I've only got 5.
Yeah. And there's an old episode of the kids' cartoon Arthur that explained that missing socks were stolen by dogs and ended up as part of the sock market. Whereas real dogs just eat socks and get themselves in all kinds of trouble. My cat, it doesn't eat socks; he eats plastic. So I've got the little plastic. How do you say that? Plastic strips that are tacked on the bottom of my bed, and he tries to tear them off and eat them. So
Really?
I went under my bed with a pair of scissors and cut him very very short, so he can't get to him. Yeah.
I'm done, by the way. So.
Yeah. So now it's your turn.
Yay!
I'm done with my theories about washing disappearing. So.
I will hand you a pair of socks now.
I'm out of content.
So it's the beginning of a new month, which means that we are also wrapping up the first quarter of the year. So maybe we can do a bit of a look back on these first 3 months of the year, and then look ahead at the things that we are doing.
Oh, it sounds like you have prepared something.
No, this is all. Now you have to you have to fill it in. Oh boy. No, but I've learned a couple of things these past 3 months, and that is that not all the plans that we had at the beginning of the year came to fruition, but that's not necessarily a problem. So we wanted to have 3 documentaries ready. Instead, we only have 1.9 documentaries ready. The second one is almost done, but the third one still has to be finished. So we're kind of falling behind on that original plan. But on the other hand, we're making progress, and what I like is that we have some ideas for future documentaries. At least the kind of stories that we want to tell. So I've been racking my brain about what should we do? What should we make? Should we do like Netflix documentaries? What should it be about? And ultimately, the conclusion is just I want to continue doing what I've done for the past 10 years, which is bring you along. And so in the next couple of months, I'm going to do a couple of trips, and I'm just going to film that and turn that into a story. And then we'll see. Netflix can wait. And that was liberating to decide that. You know, that's going to be enough.
So behind the scenes with Father Roderick, something like that.
Not necessarily. No, I mean, I can't. It's more that I try to find the story in the places where I go, instead of trying to come up with this brilliant idea for whatever documentary that the world needs to see, because I don't have a clue. I just don't know.
And can we know already where you are going, or is it still secret?
No. It's public. So the first trip I'm going to make is well, actually there is one thing in April, and actually the 2 of us may go there, but I still have to make sure that we can, because there is another fantasy fair, Elfia, and the people there know us very well. So
Know him very well.
But in previous years, I've made either TV shows or YouTube videos, and so last year, when they were still planning on doing a fantasy fair, but it got canceled because of COVID. Right before the cancellation, they wrote us like, "Oh, we're going to put you on the VIP list, and we all love what you do, and so next time be our guest." And the event is going to take place, I think, in the 3rd or 4th week of April.
24, 25, I think.
Yeah.
April, something like that.
But I don't have tickets.
I do.
Yeah. Did you also order them, or you just have the ability?
Tickets. I ordered tickets for this event, so the in the Castle de Haar in 2020. And then
but you got confirmation. You got confirmation that they have been moved.
Yeah, well, they had a very frequently asked questions section, and they said, well, if you have the Eventbrite tickets from 2020 and you have never used them, they are still valid.
Oh, good. So what I would like to do is to contact them and tell them that I'd like to be there, and maybe film something there and tell a story. One topic that I was thinking of was doing something about all the volunteers. There are about 100 volunteers that are spending their 3 days to build everything up, and that's quite unique. Because the thing itself is commercial. It's a commercial event, but people love it so much that they kind of dedicate themselves to. So that might be an angle, like a unifying angle, or I don't know, just come up with something. So that's the first thing that that's just a weekend, and then after that I'm going to Rome. So I'll be in Rome during the canonization of a number of saints, among which there is also a Dutch guy. So I'm going to be there for 8 days, and I have one little thing that I can do for the broadcasting organization, so it's a paid job, and then for the rest, I don't have plans. So I was thinking maybe I can do an experiment. And you may know that we have talked about bringing the patrons along. The people that are, what's the tier, the documentary tier? I think it's $10. So that if I would go and film a documentary, I would also kind of bring them along with live vlogs or stuff like that. So I don't have an exact idea, but it could be a nice occasion to do that and to come up with a program instead of just wandering around eating gelato, which is, by the way, nothing wrong with that, but to do something a bit more substantial and to create it, turn it into a community experience. But that's still very much in its early stages of development. So that's one thing that I think patrons would enjoy if they could come along in a certain way, and then you could have every day could have its own theme, a place that I could visit. We could do a live moment, like Mountain Batorek, who lives in Rome. He does a lot of that. Yeah.
Can you make a review of the gelato shops in Rome, so that if I go to Rome, that I can
Sure. Yeah, we could do something
know where
like
to
that.
go?
Yeah. No, I think they're
Important stuff you need to know if you go to Rome.
exactly. So that would be another project, and then I get back on Wednesday, and I leave almost immediately afterwards. So I'm still have to book the flight, but I'm looking into the various possibilities, and I'm going to travel to Phoenix, Arizona, where I will be staying, or I'll be hosted by Rob Kubasco. Those of you that Pat is in the chat, and she's been with me to Rome a couple of years ago, and Rob was there too. So Rob invited me to come over, stay with him, and then he will drive me to the Star Wars convention or Star Wars celebration in Anaheim, which, by the way, these distances in the United States are insane. I think it's a 6-hour drive from where he lives to Disneyland.
Oh my God! That's
From here
to Paris.
to Paris, yes.
Yeah.
So for them, it's just, oh yeah, and then we'll just take the car and drive. Like, what? So I scheduled about 2 weeks to be in the United States, and so that's the second trip that I would like to turn into a documentary, and to maybe I'll also do some talks. But I'm still in the process of planning the trip. So, but thankfully there are lots of flights that go to Phoenix. There's always a layover either is it in Philly or I think there's either you have a layover in New York, JFK, or in Philly. So I'm still kind of on the fence.
Philly sounds cooler than New York, because New York is very crowded.
Airports are very boring everywhere you go. Only in Philly I could eat one of those greasy things.
That's exactly. That was your read my mind.
How are they called again? Philly steak or Philly is something it's very greasy. It's just basically bread, and then they've got meat. I think it's beef, and then layers and layers of molten cheese.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry.
Heart attack on a plate.
Yeah.
But I can choose between American Airlines, Delta, and what's the UK?
Probably.
No, the UK
British
Airlines, British Airways.
Airways, yeah.
And I've done a lot of flights with Delta. Delta is also KLM. They have they work together. So that's what I know. American Airlines, I think I used it once.
Wasn't that when there was a grasshopper in your salad?
No, not a grasshopper. There was a worm in my salad. I'm not kidding you. And then I called the stewardess or the flight attendant, and she came over and she was like, "What's wrong?" Well, it's like, there's this, you see this? And there was this little green wriggly thing in my salad, and she was like, "So you're calling me for that?" So she took the plate. She didn't bring me a replacement. She just took it off my hands.
Okay, that's so you know
Strange.
what's airline you don't choose then.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was just this one thing. Oh, speaking of
Uh,
flight attendants, there is a series on HBO. So HBO is now another platform in the Netherlands, and there is a series called The Flight Attendant, and the main role is played by, oh, what's her name? Cuoco, I think is her last name, and
it's
she
not Pan
plays.
Am.
No. That was the canceled series. Now this is it's a cool story, but the main actress is also has a big role in The Big Bang Theory.
Ah,
Kaylee Cuoco, is that how you pronounce it? Kaylee Cuoco, and it's a great series. Like she's working for an airline, but she has a flirt with a millionaire guy who's on the plane, and when she wakes up, it's very gruesome. She wakes up in the hotel the night after or the morning after, and then the guy is lying next to her with his throat slit, like he's bleeding all over the place. He's dead, basically. And then she panics. She covers up. She cleans the room, and then she tries to get out of that country because apparently they're in some country where if you get in prison, you will never get out anymore. And so the entire series is about like, is she going to be discovered? What's going on? Who killed the guy? Where was she? Oh my gosh. It's one of those, it's a series that I have to sometimes turn off because I can't stand the tension. Do you have that from time to time? Like I have that with horror movies as well. Like in the middle, it's like, nope, 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 nope.
I
I'm
don't even
not going to
start.
finish this.
I don't even start watching horror movies. I don't start watching thrillers because my nervous system cannot handle that.
It's insane.
It's if it gets the suspense gets too big, then I freak out and I don't sleep well. So it needs to be nice and adventure and explosions are fine, but not the suspense that you get terrified. So,
Yeah. But anyway, that was just a rabbit hole, but I was
yeah,
like, okay, I'm not going to stay in a hotel. And
but
thankfully, as a priest, I'm not in any danger of having a fling with anyone. So, oh boy.
yeah,
The
well,
Philly cheesesteak. That's what
yeah.
it
So
is.
the people just said what the salad was. Salad was just gag. You know the Klingon dish
Yeah.
with live worms. Gag.
Oh,
Which are eaten alive.
may also have been one of those television episodes that I turned off before they took a bite. Oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
So those are basically three things that are coming up, and that I hope to, at least in one way or another, share with you as a community. And then, of course, there will be the usual podcast. And there's one thing that I learned by doing the. Have you already listened to the walk that I recorded at the zoo?
I
That was
have
so
to,
much.
I had to because I
You
posted
had
it.
to. People really enjoyed it that I was in like visiting, that we were actually going somewhere instead of just walking around in the woods,
Yeah.
talking about procrastination habits and time management. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I think I understand why, because I had so much fun doing that. It was by hearing the sound and the birds and the waterfall, it became also a lot more fun to record. So I'm thinking of doing that for the next batch of episodes of the walk as well. Maybe just go and visit places, or just go back to the zoo, because there's still a lot of parts of the zoo that I haven't visited yet.
I mean,
So that was fun.
you can sort of revive the Catholic insider when you're in Star Wars, but then the Catholic insider goes Star Wars, something like that.
If I go to the US,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. But I
So,
think just having a story, telling a story, or bringing people along in itself. Of course, I may still have thoughts to share, but I really notice that it helps with the, I don't know, keeping people interested. So maybe that's what I will do. The problem is also that I've limited time for the recording, so I don't always have time to travel for hours and hours to get to a place just because it's interesting. But it's a bit of a lost art, the sound seeing tours, and
yeah,
maybe something that in the future, for instance, if I go to Rome, I'm always thinking video, but I might as well just record some audio tours in the future as well.
it's quicker to produce. So yeah,
It's quicker, and you can do stuff that you can't do visually. In the sense that when I'm in certain places, it's not always visually interesting enough, and you can't watch someone. I mean, I've thought about could I do like a video version of the walk? Then I'm thinking, well, that's going to be the most boring thing ever because it's
yeah.
just me walking in the woods. So,
Yeah, it's also we tried that in the very beginning of Tridio when we went our own way with SQPN. So
uh-huh.
you did the daily breakfast, and those also were shot in Rome,
Yeah,
and it was the idea was nice,
uh-huh.
but at one point we noticed that it was so it cost so much time to produce that we couldn't keep up with it.
True.
So
Yeah.
audio tours are much easier to do in that respect. Yeah,
Yeah, because you can just fill it in your own mind. You'll
yeah,
create your own version of the story in a certain way. So maybe I'll
yeah,
try that again. So that's kind of what's going on right now
yeah.
in the weeks to come. But it's going to be April, May, June. So this is going to lead into June. I'll be back from the US in the beginning of June. Then it will be immediately Pentecost. So I'm returning literally like a day before Pentecost. And I have to be here in the parish for that.
Yeah.
And and then it's already summer. It's
Mhm.
insane.
And it's almost the end of the quarter because the second quarter is April, May, June, and then it's
Yeah,
July is the first month of the third quarter. So then we are a half year in already.
that's crazy. I time goes by so quickly.
Yeah. Marco says that there are probably tons of religious communities that would probably be very happy to host you if you are in
Yeah.
the United States.
Oh, I have no doubt about it. Rob has been very welcoming. So he has a place where I can stay, and I just have the place for myself. So that is very nice.
Hmm.
And I don't know exactly, like 10 years ago, people knew me as the podcasting priest, but now, of course, that's long forgotten. So I don't
Yeah.
know if it would be useful to do talks or not, but
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll come up with some ideas. But it's a nice region because from there you have like mountains and like lots of nature on the east side of Philly, or the northeastern side, and then
The
of course you've got
Appalachians, Appalachen.
no idea what it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah,
You've got Las Vegas, which is not so far, which to me always sounded like the most boring place in the world that I still want to visit just having been there. And then, of course, you've got LA, but we'll only stay there for the duration of the Star Wars celebration. So I won't see much of LA itself. Or, yeah, that's north of LA, right? Anaheim?
hmm,
I think so. So, but I've already been to LA several times, so there's not much left. Ooh, don't they have a Universal Studios there?
I think so.
Bum bum ba-dum, bum 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 bum. Harry Potter World. Oh, and Area 55 is 51. Is that also in that area? Oh my gosh. Vegas, once is enough. Yeah. Oh, so Anaheim is south of LA. I don't recall. It's been many, many years. But I think the Star Wars convention itself is, I mean, it's in Anaheim, but it's not in Disneyland, which you would expect because it's a Disney property now. But I think they do it in one of those conference centers. And if you've been to one conference center, you've been to them all. They all have the purple. Remember, Inge, the purple carpet with all those strange colors?
Oh, yeah. Headache inducing.
That's the weirdest thing in the United States. All conference centers have this like totally wild carpet, and I think
know
it's
why that is. I know it is.
so you don't see how dirty it is.
That and no stains and yeah.
Yeah.
You know it clashes with everything you put on it.
So Universal Studios is in LA. I may have to negotiate with. No, but I don't think we have a hotel for LA. So, but we'll see.
But I probably religious communities in LA.
Yeah, but I have to go back to Phoenix afterwards,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit far to take a bike. But I'm looking forward to going back to the United States. It's been a long time. I think the last time was when we were in Boston. That is
when we
5
just
years
got
ago.
out, when we got out before the blizzard, the
Yeah, so it's been years and years and years.
2016.
I skipped Trump because I think back then it was Obama, and
Yeah.
now it's Biden. So there's like, wow.
Yeah, it wasn't on purpose though. It was more.
No,
like,
no. It's just
Yeah,
well,
it was
one of
not
the things
not
I remember that when Trump became president, they did have a lot of travel restrictions all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And so you had to fill in all your private details and social
Yeah.
media stuff, and that was a little bit disconcerting, I have to say.
Yeah, so we are part of the ESTA waiver system, and I was looking into visiting Chris, who's a friend of ours in Florida, and as part of my visa waiver, I had to fill in all my social media handles, and they would they didn't ask for for the passwords, but they could ask for the passwords when you were entering the country.
Wow.
And that was
Okay.
for me, as a European privacy GDPR person, was like, nope.
Yeah.
And so and they also said you can also not list your website and your social media, but then we have the right to deny entrance to the country.
Oh,
over
really?
social media handles. No,
Oh,
not
it
anymore on
didn't say
social-
that this time. So I filled in
Uh,
the ESTA application and it was approved, but it was optional. You could put in
Yeah.
your credentials. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
no.
it's not a visa. It's visa waiver. It's like from Western Europe. So we are friendly countries. I'm not from Yemen, Saudi Arabia, or other. I'm not planning a terror attack or something like that. Or but yeah. So for European, it's like big nope. I'm not even giving my own government that information. Let alone
They are treating me as if my name is Roderickovich. You know, it is not. I'm from safe, friendly country. Yes,
Yeah.
I bring you my
Yeah.
money.
So yeah, if for example Dutch persons, if I go on the street and ask them, can I see your ID? The average Dutch person says, no, of course you certainly cannot see my ID. Yeah,
We're-
so
we're very-
it's like brain freeze when I do that. So yeah,
But it wasn't a problem this time. So
No.
I got my already ESTA approved. So I'm looking into flights, and I have to say, even for the prices, I was a bit like, oh my gosh, that's going to be super expensive. But I mean, it's expensive. It's about 800 something, a little bit more than 800 euros. But on the other hand, I'm traveling almost to the other side of the world, so it's feasible, and that's for back and forth. So I thought it was very reasonable.
well the other end of the world is Australia. So it's,
I know, but I remember when I traveled to Australia how expensive it was. From Australia to New Zealand, that was rather cheap. It was 150, but then to go to Sydney, oh my gosh, I think I paid. Well, I didn't have to pay it, but they paid 1,400 euros or something like that. It was insanely
cheap.
expensive.
It's
I
like
don't
two
have it.
thousand euros plus when my family went there. So yeah,
Oh my.
I've got a cousin who lived in Australia for 6 months. So family would visit her, or
Hmm.
a little bit more than 6 months, but and then they had to pay like 2,500 euros for the round trip. I was like,
Wow.
oh, over
I'd love to.
Dubai,
I really love to go back. Yeah, Dubai. I've also flown. I've flown with Air. Is it Air Dubai or Air Emirates? Air
Emirates. Yeah, that's a
Emirates.
good. That's a very good.
But it
Uh,
was the biggest
yeah,
plane I've ever been in. It was
Dreamliner.
so massive. Yeah, it was like I thought a 747 was big, but this was like twice the size. I'd never seen a plane like that. It scared me because it was like 3 floors. Like, how can this lift off? It was really cool. Steven says I should come to Comic Con San Diego. I'd love to. I've been dreaming of
Oh
going there
yeah,
one day, but the problem is those tickets are impossible to get.
yeah. Press.
Yeah, but that may work in the Netherlands, but that's never going to fly anywhere else. I'm Catholic Press. Sure. What's your website? FatherRoderick.com? Uh-huh. Please, sir, the end of the line is over there. No. 4 blocks away from here. Well, thankfully, I mean, when I first heard about Comic-Con in San Diego, I was dreaming of that sort of stuff. Because we didn't have that over here in Europe, but now
Yeah,
that has changed quite a bit. We have our Comic Cons. There is in Germany, isn't there the big Star Trek convention?
yeah.
That's usually right after Pentecost, right?
Hmm.
And they have, I mean, that's big. You've got tens of thousands of people there.
Yeah.
And I think there
Very expensive.
is
I was like,
it?
oh, fun! I want to go there. Like, so, and it cost tickets for the weekend cost $100. I was like, never mind.
Whoa. Okay.
But
Well,
that's not the early bird tickets. It's just of course I did because didn't find out until some weeks ago.
mhm.
So maybe
But
it
all
was
these
because.
events are super expensive. It's like,
But
but
also,
even if,
for example, Jerry Taylor, so Jerry Ryan from 7 of 9 is there.
oh,
And you can
really?
go if for €50 you can get on a photograph with her, and for €65 extra you have to get her signature. I was like, if I want
That's
to go,
normal.
yeah, I know it's normal, but if I want to go on a photo with a couple of people and do some stuff, it costs a couple of €100 that weekend.
Yes,
Just
easily.
being at and not and then I haven't eaten anything. That's
Hmm.
outrageously expensive as well. And then I have to stay there. So I
Yeah,
was like, no.
yeah. It's we may actually go to that Hobbit,
Oh,
those Hobbit
yeah,
days.
yeah.
That sounded interesting. So that's also in Germany. I sent you the
Beginning
link.
of June. Beginning of June, I think.
Yeah. So
Early.
that's a weekend where all the Lord of the Rings fans from Germany are gathering, but it's also a fair. So it's a lot of the cosplayers and people who
Yeah,
make their own,
I can dress up
costumes.
like Daisy Cotton.
Yeah.
So doing the curls and stuff. Yeah.
I'm going as Mount Doom.
Because you're so explosive.
Yes. I'm, no, it's but that sounded fun at the same time a bit scary because it's in Germany and my German is not very good.
Oh, that's why I have to go along, right?
I will bring you along. Yeah, you can be my universal translator.
Dolmetscher. Dolmetscher.
Dolmetscher?
Ja,
Was ist ein Dolmetscher?
that's translator.
Oh, Dolmetscher?
Yeah.
That sounds weird. But anyway, but on the other hand, you know, I should be able to speak German. I just never do it. So maybe it's just a matter of going there
I
and,
just I
and
just
try it
poke
out.
you a bit so to encourage you.
Maybe. I don't think that's the way language works, but sure. Here, let me poke you harder. Speak German. Speak German. Ah!
Oh, people start to scream, so that sounds almost German, right? When foreign people try to speak German, you suddenly start shouting and all kinds of stuff. So,
I'm not saying that, but it could be fun. And I also apparently I spoke about maybe going to Poland for a documentary or something like that, and I was contacted by a priest from. Oh, where is he? He's not in. Where's the big dome? Köln, right?
Are you
Cologne,
still? No, no,
Cologne.
you're talking about Germany again, not about
Yeah,
Poland.
no, I was talking about Germany. But there is this priest. Oh gosh, what's it? Norbert Fink,
Yeah.
and he is actually from Poland, but his parents migrated to Germany, and he's now a priest in. Is Cologne the diocese with the cardinal who left?
Yeah. This is the
Wilkie?
Archdiocese of Archdiocese of Cologne.
Right. He's a great guy. He's very geeky, and I've met him once. We've met several times in Rome, and listen to the podcasts, I was only one of the only other geek priests that he knew. So I went to his place and we interviewed him. He's got a lot of very very geeky interests, geekier than me, than anyway. So
Geekier than I am, I think.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he's an Elvis Presley impersonator. I'm not
Oh,
kidding you.
really?
Really, he's got the whole suit. He actually even was invited. So he he did a wedding of two Elvis Presley fans, and then he was invited at the party, and he dressed up like Elvis Presley. Oh, so much fun.
And then a couple has to say, yeah, that's our priest.
No, he's well known for that. It's like people associate me with Star Wars, and he's associated with Elvis. But he's also very much into movies, and he does a lot of. Part of his work is in youth pastoral, so he does a lot of talks about movies and faith. So we're very much in the same area of interest, and so he's like, "Oh, if you go to Poland, I could come along. I've got lots of family there, and I know I speak Polish." And it's like, wow, I never thought of that, but that would be so much fun to do that with a fellow geek priest who speaks Polish, but also speaks English, and have someone who can guide me in that country. I think that's the perfect recipe for an interesting documentary. So I was very glad.
Lee wants to know if German and Dutch are similar.
The Dutch are from Mars, and the Germans are from Pluto.
Yeah, it's
Something like that.
I'm not sure. I don't speak Spanish and Portuguese, but it's like Spanish and Portuguese. But what I've been told, I've been raised by both languages from.
Oh, he's talking about the languages.
Yes.
I thought he was talking about the Germans and the Dutch.
No,
Oh, sorry
no.
about that. No, yeah, the languages. They are similar.
Well, it's like so I've been raised with both languages because my dad's from Germany, my mom's from the Netherlands. So I cannot really say how the German sounds if you not have learned German. But what I hear from other people, if you've never been taught German, you cannot understand German. Maybe for 50%, but it's very hard to follow. And Germans cannot understand Dutch people speaking either. So, but if you look at the grammar, there are lots of words. They are similar or similar sounding, but that don't have the same meaning. So you have this sea is meer, and you have this, but you also have the lake, which is called a zee. But in Dutch, it's the other way around. So the sea is called zee.
Yeah.
Well, that's so there are lots of switcheroo going on. So it makes it for me when I'm tired, I start to talk a hybrid language because it doesn't match up anymore. So yes, they are very different, but also very similar at the same time.
What I found difficult about German is the similarity and also the dissimilarity, but also German grammar is more complicated than Dutch grammar. So it's not really a language that you can speak intuitively. Like if you make mistake, it's immediately obvious. Whereas in like a language like French or Italian, you can kind of like bluff your way through the language as long as it sounds more or less good. But in Germany, it's very precise, and that's hard.
Well,
It's a language that I need to be engaged on both with the pronunciation, but also mentally, because you're doing a lot of grammar stuff in your head when at least when I'm speaking it.
yeah, I'm not. But the thing is, what you are being taught at school is German as you write it, which is not the same German as you speak it. So some words in German are never written down; they are only spoken. And some words you would write down, but you would never say it like that on the street.
Sure.
So I've been raised in my family with street German. So I tried to study German literature and culture in university to become a teacher in German, but I failed grammar because I cannot, for the life of me, write correct German because I never been taught correct German. So in the school, in high school, it was like, okay, so I have to translate this sentence. How would a German say that? And then I wrote it down, and that was passable. So well, because it was something a German would say, it was be correct. But in university, that is not officially written German, so that was not correct. And I had to explain, why did you use this tense, or why did you use this inclination? Because everybody does. Because
Yeah.
everybody says so.
Yeah,
I don't
that's a
know.
problem. That's a problem when you have to kind of rationalize the language that you are raised with. That is always hard.
Yeah, because everybody does. That was not the right answer, by the way. So, yeah,
Hey, we need to start wrapping things up.
yeah.
So Stephen is saying goodbye. Thanks for stopping by. Next week, I'm thinking of doing like an anniversary gathering, because it's going to be my birthday one of
You
these
have to
days.
sing a song.
No, but maybe I'll do something special. I still have to think about it. But I'm thinking of celebrating my birthday over the weekend, the next weekend, not this weekend. Or is it already Palm Sunday then?
It's
No.
your birthday is in 4 days.
Oh, okay. But this not this upcoming Sunday. Sunday after next Sunday. That's Palm Sunday, right?
Yes,
I think so.
because yeah, because last Sunday was the fourth Sunday of Lent. So this Sunday is the fifth Sunday of Lent. So
Okay.
so that would be Palm Sunday, right? So
Yeah.
the third.
So anyway, maybe that's when I'll celebrate
Your
my,
your,
my
your
birthday.
birthday is on Tuesday. Just for everybody listening, his birthday is on Tuesday.
I need to organize stuff.
You don't have to. I didn't do
I
anything
know,
either.
I know. But I have people that want to probably visit, or so I'm gonna make another cake. Palm Sunday is the 10th. Good. Well, that's a good occasion for a birthday party, I
Yeah,
think.
it's always. I'm always have my birthday during Lent. Almost,
Yeah.
almost. Last year was the last year. No, the year before that was, I think, was my birthday was on Ash Wednesday. That's a bad day to have a
Oh boy.
birthday.
Yeah, that's not fun. That's
No.
not fun. I think there should be an exemption for birthday parties,
Yeah.
or I'll make a fish cake maybe.
Yeah. I posted my birthday picture with me sitting after mass with the ashes. So happy birthday.
You are dust, and you will return to dust, and every birthday brings you closer to the dust that you are. Thank you.
Something like that.
Anyway, it was nice to hang out with you all. And again, if you're watching this afterwards, thanks. And in case some of you that are watching this live have missed previous episodes, in case you care, you can find the link to the playlist, posted it on Patreon, on the Patreon website. And and I've also shortened the recordings of the Mass to just a homily. And I was actually surprised by looking through that people do go back and watch certain homilies. Apparently, I don't know why, but they do.
Because they are inspiring.
Yeah, maybe it's also the trigger. Like I noticed that the one with Iron Man got like twice the amount of views for some reason.
Hmm.
I thought Iron Man was already over and nobody cared, but apparently people do. So yeah, and if you have any tips, it's like I always struggle on Sunday coming up with an idea for a movie to relate to the gospel. So if you are reading like in mass and you think of like, oh, that reminds you of this or that movie, let me know because I'm getting a little bit desperate sometimes. Like what can I talk about?
And I always only read the Gospel of that Sunday on that Sunday morning, so that's a little
Me
bit
too. That's a
short.
problem. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't have time to think about
yeah.
it. Anyway, have a great weekend all, and maybe I'll see you for Sunday live mass. Take care.
Bye.